Hey guys, it's Grand Admiral Thrawn, and today I am doing a Black Series review of the Mandalorian warrior Vizsla, who is a character that actually made it among the top 5 on my Missing Clone Wars videos of Black Series. I'm very happy that we finally have Vizsla, and out of that top 5, only one character still remains not in Black Series form, and that's Savage Opress, which is a shame. But today we're not talking about Savage Opress, we're talking about Vizsla and his amazing Black Series figure. Now, before I actually review the figure, I want to point one thing out that's unique about my figure. This wire here has broken. Okay, when you buy the figure, it will not be broken. Mine was broken because the wires are very fragile, but I'll talk more about that later. For right now, I want to talk about how awesome they made this figure. So right out of the gate, the thing I love the most is the armor on this Mandalorian because, well, their armor is kind of their most important thing. So I'm really glad that Hasbro got all the detailing right. I'll start with the legs and work my way up. Like as you can see on the feet, he has detailing on as he's got armor there. He's got it along his knees up to there. That all looks great, and it looks great on the sides too. And on the back, how there isn't any, that looks good. Yeah, the back's kind of plain, but the front looks amazing on this figure. Then as you move up, there's not really any armor there, but there is here and up towards the chest. He's got holsters for his pistols that he comes with. He's got on his back, you can see the rest of his belt, and that looks great. On his chest, they did an amazing job of detailing his blue symbol that he has there. Working your way up through the arms, those look great. You've got his gauntlets around his fists. They look good with nice detailing, and they even detailed wires that connect all the way up to his elbows. That looks great. And then he's even got shoulder armor, which also looks amazing. And then on his back, he doesn't really have any armor, but he has an amazing new jetpack mold. This is the first time we've gotten a jetpack that looks like this, and it looks great. And then on the head, you have this amazing helmet that they made a new mold for because of how his helmet doesn't have your average Mandalorian antenna. His helmet has these antennas on it on both sides, not on just one side, on both sides. And so, yeah, there's a lot for me to talk about with this figure, but I guess I'm just going to start with the helmet, for example. So the helmet on this figure looks great. I love how they captured the Death Watch logo perfectly. That looks great. And there's just detailing on the sides with those antennas. And it just looks like a great Mandalorian helmet. Underneath the helmet, though, is because it's removable, you have this great detailed face of Vizsla, which includes the scar he gets off screen from Dooku. I really wish we could have seen that on this show because a fight between him and Dooku sounds awesome. How his hair is and his beard, that looks great. And so yeah, this looks like a great face for the figure, and the helmet is removable, and it doesn't actually seem loose. Some figures will do that, where the helmet will be loose, but on this one it's not. Then on the back, like I was talking about a bit ago, we have a brand new jetpack mold for this figure. Your average jetpack does not look like this. And on the back of it, you can see all this great detailing with buttons and little lights and stuff, and it looks great. Because we do actually see his jetpack up close in certain shots in Clone Wars. And it has this other great feature that the rocket on it is removable, so you can fire that. And the little jets, they're rotatable. You can rotate these. And there's even another hidden feature that this figure comes with, which I will cover when I actually get to the weapons. And yeah, there's a lot of great features throughout this whole figure. Like I said, he has holsters for his pistols, and they stay in there really nice. And yeah, the figure's pretty great. One thing I will point out, though, is that since the jetpack weighs so much, you have to have him slouch over so that way he doesn't fall down. Like, for example, he can't really stand up straight, or he'll fall over. But yeah, that's not that big a deal. Moving on to his weapons, because they gave this Mandalorian some great weapons. The first weapon I want to talk about is the Darksaber, since he's the very first character that we see wielding this amazing weapon. This is not our first time with this Darksaber. It's the same one that they gave to Moff Gideon, but that one worked great, and it works great here with how the handle and the hilt look great for this saber. And then the blade looks nice in the way how they match the black and the white. That looks great. So yeah, the Darksaber looks amazing. Something I've noticed is that if you're going to give it to one of his hands, put it in the right one, because his left hand, I don't know, his left hand, it just doesn't seem to stay in as nice. And his hands I will come back to right now, because he comes with two Mandalorian pistols. They look very nice, by the way. They're actually a darker gray, and they have detailing on them up close. You can see it. And something he gets is he gets the dual-wielding hand treatment that clones never get. No named clone has this. Not even Rex or Fives get the dual-wielding hand treatment for clones. And that's a real shame, but any other named character, they always get it, and I'm glad he gets it. I just wish we could get that for some clones. Yeah, the blasters are really nice for this figure, and they're a great inclusion. And then the feature I was talking about a bit ago is that his jetpack has a slot where you can slide in the Darksaber, just like how it was in Clone Wars. And you can have it that the Darksaber is just standing there in his jetpack like that, ready for him to pull it out and activate it. So yeah, the weapons are great on this figure. And yeah, basically everything is great on this figure. The only things I will say is he doesn't stand up the best, but he does have great posability. And these wires on their arms are very easy to snap, and they will break very easily, so be careful with those. I'll come back to the figure in just a bit, but for right now, I want to talk about the box. This is a nice box, however, I do think they could have gotten a better image. I'm not saying this one's bad, it's just he has some great poses, like the one on the Clone Wars DVD cover. That's a great pose where it's him in the air holding the Darksaber like this. I would have preferred that image. However, this is still a great image of Vizsla. On the back, you can see it again, but bigger, with some information regarding him. And I like the yellow for Clone Wars. That is a great color for it. It's the same yellow as the intro, and it really fits here. Vizsla is number 17, which makes me happy because that means we're getting more Clone Wars figures. And yeah, I'm really happy that we're getting more Clone Wars figures. Yeah, there's nothing else really I can say about the box. I do like this image, don't get me wrong, this is a good image. It's just, I think he has some better ones is all. Anyway, coming back to the figure now for my final thoughts. I think this figure is amazing. He has great posability, and just all around it's a great figure that I recommend if you're a Mandalorian fan or a Clone Wars fan, because Vizsla is an amazing Mandalorian and an amazing Clone Wars character, who, if not for him, we would have never gotten the Darksaber. So anyway, I think this figure is a 10 out of 10. I heavily recommend you buy it if you're a fan of Clone Wars and Black Series. This is Grand Admiral Thrawn signing off, and I look forward to our next encounter in my next video.